The world of fandoms is a mesmerising one. Little known by many of the public, but it is vastly becoming one of the world's most popular trends. In history, as long as there's been art, there have been fans, but now they just have a place to call home within their fandom. Everything from your typical Whovian to your avid Directioner. Within this documentary, we're going to dive into the evolving life of fandoms, the weird and wonderful. Do you know what a fandom is, and could you describe it?
I imagine it's a group of people that focus on one particular subject and get fanatic about it.
A fandom.
A group of fans, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Yeah. Phantom of the Opera.
I don't know, a fandom.
Oh, a fandom. No, I don't.
Would you say you're a fanatic about anything, like a particular TV show or a movie or anything?
No, I wouldn't say I was fanatic. There are certain things I do like, but I'm nowhere near fanatical.
No, only athletics.
It's got to be Emmerdale Farm.
I'm fanatical about animals.
Do you think the youth of today spend too long on computers and social networking about their favourite fandoms and what they love?
I do, yeah. I've got a 19-year-old daughter and she's never off it.
Well, I believe that there's a place for everything, but I think what they should realise is they need to use manipulative skills more than anything else.
Do you think it could be damaging to them?
No, not at all. As long as they get plenty of fresh air in between.
I don't know if it's particularly damaging, that particularly light form of entertainment, but some of the darker stuff, I imagine, is pretty damaging. And I think it can be separated from reality quite easily.
Yes, unsociable, I think.
Definitely unsociable.
They don't live in the real world. They live on the screens, and what goes on the screens they believe wholeheartedly.
Would you ever consider joining a fandom of any kind?
I wouldn't know.
Emmerdale.
Yes.
No, I don't know what they are really.
I don't know what they are, no. I don't think we would.
I love Doctor Who! I am Joe Brooks and I love Doctor Who.
Be prepared to meet our first fan, a man that has applied for the position of the Doctor no less than 244 times. Hopefully one day the BBC will stop rejecting his letters. It's the Time Lord Supreme, Joe Brooks. When did you first get into and discover your fandom?
I think it was when it came back in 2005. My dad said, you should watch this programme, and I was like, I'm not really too sure about it. Then he sat me down, 3 episodes in, Aliens of London, Christopher Eccleston, 9th Doctor, loved it. End of the series, I was hooked.
What interests you in the subject and the fandom itself?
The subject, it's science fiction. I absolutely love science fiction. The idea of time travel itself is a brilliant concept. Not just like for science fiction, but for real life science. If that could ever happen, a time machine, that would be amazing. And the fandom the fandom's great because it weaves their stories. They have their own clubs. I go to loads of those clubs, and they make their own stories up. Really good stories. I write my own fan fiction myself. It's really great. The music, the Time Lord rock, as it's called. It's all it's really creative. It's brilliant. I love it.
What is the craziest thing you have ever done over your fandom?
Well, this whole TARDIS thing's pretty insane itself.
Do you social network online about your certain fandom?
Yeah, I do. I've got lots of friends online who I social network all the time. And I speak to loads of fans on the internet. I've got people in Australia and America. There's a girl I'm talking to now, she's from Australia, named Sandra. She's 45, and we just talked on Who all the time, literally. Before you came here, I was talking to her.
So you say you've made loads of friends over your fandom?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel as if your obsession is taking over your personal or social life in any way?
No.
Do you believe that your fandom obsession is damaging your life in any way?
Oh God, no. If anything, it's enhancing it.
What are your family's views on your fandom obsession?
My dad likes it, he enjoys it. Not much he used to, sadly, but he still loves it. He just think I'm mad though, because these screwdrivers, they all cost like 10 quid each, and they're there's just a different colour to them. My mum, she hates it. It's like, I'm going to watch Downton Abbey, go upstairs, fine. My sister doesn't care.
Do you believe your fandom obsession will last for the rest of your life?
I will buy books, I will buy audios, I will do anything, just anything to keep it going. I will start petitions, I will campaign to have it go on forever.
Do you believe your fandom obsession is hindering your love life in any way?
No, again, I think it's enhancing it. I know loads of girls who actually love Doctor Who, and we just talk about it all the time, basically. It's better, really.
Are you proud to be a member of your fandom?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good fandom, and it's just really creative and exciting. It's just great. It's a great show.
Are you ever concerned about what the public will think about your obsession and your fandom?
Well, no, because the character of the Doctor himself doesn't care. And it's morals are like that, and I don't really care. It's just about being yourself, and don't care what anyone else says. If you just want to dress up like this, the Doctor goes out in mad clothes, do it, just go out and do it. I mean, no one's going to question you. Well, they are, but, you know, it's you.
How do you want to further your fandom obsession in the future?
Oh, God. I would love to build like a full-size TARDIS. If working, if possible, that'd be amazing.
Who is your favourite fandom cast member?
I like David Tennant, but Karen Gillan, just because it's Karen Gillan.
If you're in a lifeboat with the cast of Doctor Who and your parents, who would you say you were playing?
Karen Gillan and... Could I go for Alex Kingston? So you got the mother and daughter thing going there, yeah. Being in a fandom is almost as if being in a large family community. They meet up for special occasions and swap stories and so forth. But when I say meet up, let's meet some of the most dedicated members. Can you define the term fandom?
An immense passion for a particular show or comic or character.
A fandom is sort of, it's a group of people who define themselves as the fandom mainly for a specific genre or subgenre of popular culture.
Oh, what, sorry?
A group of obsessed maniacs.
If you could define a fandom in one word, what would it be?
Eccentric.
Crazy.
Are you a fan yourself of anything in particular?
Jerry Anderson, Star Trek, Star Wars, the old stuff from the 80s and 70s.
My favourite fandoms are Marvel, DC and Star Wars.
I'm quite into Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Yeah, I'm really into the trilogy, they were really good.
Has being in a fandom changed or impacted your life in any way?
Well, yeah, it has, because it's led me to meet new people that I probably wouldn't have met before if I hadn't been a fan of these things.
I don't know, I've always been part of one. Ever since I was that big, I've been reading comics, watching films, so no difference. It's been there all my life.
I think, to be honest, coming to things like this has just made me more confident in being myself then, rather than just not telling anyone what you like doing.
Yes, very much, especially Star Wars. I don't think I go a single day without doing something Star Wars related.
Do you love your fans?
Here's the thing. Firstly, I don't think there are fans. I think there's people that respect what I do, and I respect that they respect what I do. Do you know what I mean? People who call them that say they have fans, I think are a bit weird, because we're all just normal people. Do you know what I mean? So that's my feeling.
I love them all, individually and separately.
Yes, I love my fans.
What is the craziest thing a fan has ever done for you?
Oh, I couldn't really tell you about crazy things that fans have done. Some of them are very, very strange.
The craziest thing that somebody's done, I once had some panties sent through the post, which was quite interesting.
I think just like traveling all around the world. I once had this girl from China come all the way from China to Paris. Just to come and see me, which was pretty mad.
Are you a fan of any TV shows or films or anything?
I love Entourage. Doesn't come on anymore, but Entourage was a great show. Really loved that show. The Simpsons for as many years as it's been on. Do I like that? I quite like Flash. That's just started.
I'm a huge fan of Adventure Time. Have you seen that? It's like a cartoon. I'm a really big fan of that. I love the whole world and all the characters and all the stories. I'm really, what else am I really into actually? There's a new TV series on Amazon called Transparent, which I'm only 2 episodes in, but that's a really good TV show that I'm really enjoying. And I love loads of old kind of cult movies. I love like Dark Crystal. Love lots of like old like science fiction, fantasy. I like fantasy quite a bit as well.
Deep in the heart of suburbia lives the 8th wonder of the world. A witch so magical, she makes Albus Dumbledore seem like Stephen Mulhern. It's the illuminating Fiona Bell. What is your name and fandom obsession?
My name's Fiona Bell, and I like Harry Potter.
What interests you in the subject and the fandom itself?
It's obviously a real place, so I mean I'm just, like, loving Hogwarts and the side of it. So I love the spells, because I learn them, so when I go to Hogwarts, when I'm a teacher when I'm older, then I can teach all the children from 11 to 18.
What is the craziest thing you've ever done over your fandom?
Well, I'm not crazy.
Do you social network online about your certain fandom?
Yes. I could say a little bit obsessed with going on the internet and posting on things about it.
Have you made online friends due to the fact that you love your fandom?
Yes. Ashley, He's a seeker in the Quidditch team in Ohio.
Do you feel as if your fandom obsession is taking over your personal or social life?
No. I mean, a couple of people have said stuff to me before, but I just Patronus them and they're away from my life.
Do you believe your fandom obsession is damaging your life in any way?
Well, I was like 4 when Harry Potter came out, so I don't really remember what my life was like before.
What are your family's views on your fandom obsession?
Well, I actually saw a shrink. My dad made me go. Yeah, it's kind of a rough time, but I'm still the same person and I always will be.
Do you believe your fandom obsession will last for the rest of your life?
Well, it's obviously going to last when I go and teach the kids in Hogwarts.
What does your partner think about your fandom obsession?
He's on board. Well, he bought me Hermione's wand.
Are you proud to be a member of your certain fandom?
Yes.
How do you want to further your fandom obsession in the future?
Well, I'm going to start loads more groups online, and well, me and my friends are continually looking for 9 3/4. We've nearly found an exact replica of the brickwork in one of the train stations that I live by. So we're trying to get a few trolleys, just, you know, so you can...
Do you own any pieces of fandom memorabilia?
Yeah, I've bought all the stuff from the films. I got this time turner, like the one they use in Prison of Azkaban, and I was the last one in the shop, and I had to push some out of the way before they got this from me.
Who is your favourite fandom cast member?
Gotta say Emma Watson, 100%.
If you were in a lifeboat and there was only room for one more person, who would you choose to save? Your partner or a fandom cast member?
Daniel Radcliffe. And then probably Emma Watson. And then probably my partner.
Now we come to the end of this magical tale. There's been mystery, time travel and wizardry galore. What more could you have ever asked for? We'll say ta-ta for now, but we'll leave you with this. Wallow in the joy of your fandom bliss.